If you love super kitschy and nostalgic journals, this is the episode for you. I have made, oh my gosh, I think there's 18 of these very vintage retro style journals. They will all be available over on Patreon. So sit back, relax, enjoy this video where I show you all the covers and even do some flip throughs. So let's get this video started. Hello and welcome back to my channel, Thrifty Day. On today's episode, I am going to be showing you a flip through of the March Patreon journals that are available to any of the tiers that receive journals in my Patreon this month for the month of March. I have 3 tiers that receive journals. I have the surprise journal tier, I have the journal and ephemera pack tier, and I also have the I Want It All tier. And that tier receives everything I have on every tier. So I have a lot of journals. Most of them have been claimed. I do have about half still available, but I did want to give you a flip through because you do get to choose your fabric and your card. I do have that already on my Patreon. If you were interested in still joining, there's still plenty available. I made a whole bunch because whatever isn't necessary for Patreon, I will eventually put into my Etsy shop. I just had a blast making them. They are probably my favorite style of journal I've ever made. And so once I was on a roll, I just kept going. So I'm going to show you each one individually with their tabs and things like that. But I'm only going to do a flip through of 1 or 2 because otherwise we'd be here all day because there are just so many. Okay, so here is the first one. It has they're all vintage playing cards, but this vintage playing card is an owl. They come in a really sweet little frame. Each one also comes with an elastic band so that as you start journaling and your journal starts growing, you will have a band to keep it all closed. This is all very vintage, heavy duty fabric. I purchased it all at a yard sale, oh gosh, over a year ago, and I love it. So it's got a really fun retro theme. And they all each come with tabs. Some of them are vintage tabs, some of them are vintage stiffened fabric, some are vintage doilies, some are modern tabs, but they all do come with tabs. So that is the owl. This is a really cute little mushroom with little, I don't know, what are those, like little elves or something on a caterpillar? So cute. And vintage fabric. They also all do have metal tabs. I have gold tone tabs, brass tone tabs, sort of a rose gold tabs, and silver tabs, and they're all a little bit different. So those are the tabs on that one. This next one is one of my favorites because you all know how much I love plants. I love my plants. I have one hanging, actually you can't see it, but it's right in front of me at my workspace. This is the tail. So I love potted plants, and that's a vintage plant playing card, that elastic. Beautiful gold tone, and those are the tabs. Very sweet. Here's another one of those really sweet little elves, and this one's riding a little ladybug with little flowers and more of that heavy-duty vintage fabric. And those are the tabs. This is one of my favorite tabs, actually. How cute is that little vintage fruit? And they all do have at least one little vintage paper coaster as a tab as well. And then this one is really sweet. It's a little vintage girl in a vintage dress. She also comes with the elastic band. Some of them have different colors. This fabric is all a little bit different because it's patchworky, but this one has like the marigolds on the back. Really pretty. And these are the tabs. I love this one. All right. This one has like a blue tone, really sweet little vintage girl with flowers. And these are the tabs. Has a really pretty bright blue elastic lace band. And this one, I don't know why, it totally gives me Small World vibes. Is that like, am I off? Maybe teacup vibes? I don't know. Very sweet. Here's another blue tone one, but it's a different fabric. Really sweet with those like super retro kitschy flowers. It's a little boy. So cute. Little elf boy. That one's really sweet. And I love these tabs as well with the little flower. Really pretty paper. I can't wait to show you the insides. I just don't want to get started now because my goodness, as you can see, there's a lot. Another little vintage girl in a frame. Really sweet blue tones. Love those tabs. Pretty fabric on the back. This one is an orange tone, orange and yellow. And again, it's sort of a different fabric. Really pretty though. I love those big retro 70s flowers. This is that rose gold, the photo corner, not the photo corners, the journal corners I was telling you about. And that's a really sweet picture. She almost kind of resembles Strawberry Shortcake to me, but it's not. Just a little vintage girl holding flowers. Super sweet. And then this one is a really kitschy 70s owl. I loved this playing card. I think this is probably my favorite fabric because I love this sort of patchwork quality, and I love those big marigolds at the top. And those are the tabs. These are all one signature journals. They all are secured with brass eyelets, so they will be nice and secure for you. This one's really cute. I think it is Holly Hobby, like the little boy from Holly Hobby. Somebody let me know if that is. I don't know. I just have these vintage playing cards, but they're not marked. So I think that is Holly Hobby, though, from the Holly Hobby collection. Really sweet little tabs on this one. And that funky sort of retro fabric on the back. This is another one I think is adorable. These little elves, I love them. I love, love, love them. I love the color scheme. I love the patchwork nature. And these are the tabs for that one. This one's really, really sweet. This little girl is really, really cute. I keep saying really, I'll stop. But how sweet is she? Little messy bun on top of her head. And that really funky print on the back. And these are the tabs. I love those. This orange tab is my favorite. I love that orange tab. Very sweet. This one has butterflies, a vintage butterfly playing card on the front. Gotta love it. I think I went the opposite direction with this fabric to sort of give it like a stripes look. And that really pretty yellow, gold tone. And those are the tabs on that one. Oh, got a little bit bended. And this one is really sweet. Sweet little girl, tabs. That's sort of a different little patchwork a bit there. Love that. It brings like that sort of aquamarine into it. This one has butterflies. Very sweet. And like I said, this is a very heavy duty fabric. So again, if you were interested in any of these journals, do head over to my Patreon because you can choose the one you want. And that's all that information is up on Patreon right now. So all of that information is linked in the description box below. I'm going to go ahead and walk you through a couple. That lace band just pops right off. I made it not super snug so that as you grow, it'll be able to grow with you. But this one is a really sweet little girl with the sunflowers. Look at those sweet yellow flowers. And these are the tabs. Each one will have a really big sort of statement sticker inside, and it's of a vintage pattern. I sort of love that. They each have vintage book pages, double-sided cardstock. There's vintage ledger paper. I made little pockets using the excess fabric as well because I didn't want to waste any of that really nice vintage fabric because it's just so kitschy and it's not going to last forever. I also did some vintage Learn to Paint pages in here, so they're double-sided and they're floral print. This is a vintage Alice in Wonderland book page. And I tried to really stay in that vintage sort of vein as I created these. I love that tab. Really sweet stuff. Lots of coffee dyed paper. There's one of those paper coasters. But these are just a really fun, this is a really fun kitschy spring journal. And it will grow nice and large. This is another one of those pockets I made from the scraps. And they're all lined, of course. So that is one. I'm going to go ahead and show you one more just so you can have like, you know, see a little bit of difference in them. This one is that blue tone with that stretchy teal. Those are the tabs. That little snail card is so, so, so cute. So that is the vintage pattern sticker inside there. Vintage book pages. I love this image with that blue gingham. So sweet. And there's another little pocket. So I did just try to sort of make sure that I changed up the fabric patterns so that all the pockets were a little bit different. inside all of them, but they were great fun to make. I think that there will be a lot of fun to create in. This is my favorite little tab, that little vintage brown tab with the fruit. And if you were looking for inspiration, I have lots of Journal With Me episodes here on YouTube that you can watch and gain inspiration and see how to use a journal that is like this, because I know it can be a little bit confusing at first if you're not used to creative style journaling. But what I'm going to do is show you what one journal like this will look like once it's totally complete. So let me grab that for you. So this is my completed Christmas journal. And this particular journal is started at the exact same size, the exact same page count as these retro funky journals. So as you can see, it grew really big, nice and chunky. I was able to fit so many things in here. As you can see, there's jewelry, there's metal, there's tabs, there's everything you can imagine from Christmas in here. It's nice and weighty. If you wanted a complete flip through of this journal, I do have one here on my channel and I will link it down below just so you can see the complete flip through to see how much I put in here. But just for reference, just so you can see, these are the exact same size, they're made the exact same way, and the original page count was exactly the same as this journal. So as you can see, it bulks up nice and you can really hold a lot of goodies in here. So that is what I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed seeing all of these journals. If you were interested in grabbing one, head over to my Patreon. If not, any of the journals left over will be put into my Etsy shop, probably in early April. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like the video and leave a comment. That helps me out immensely as I continue to try to grow my YouTube channel. So have a really great day, and thank you so much for following along, friends.